Yo, shalom, shalom. This is brother Trey Moore coming live from the building, man. I just wanted to bring some information. I know it's been a while since I made a video, and you know what I'm saying. I just want to come back to the platform and spread truth the best I can. You know what I'm saying, spreading the gospel the best I can when I have time. You know what I'm saying. Just knowing that we are in these end times, just continue to press it forth, not only press it forth online, but just in person too, which I have been doing. But just to continue to make a presence online. And the video today that we will be bringing up, I wanted to touch on this topic a while back when I seen this brother's video, but after tonight, I can just, you know what I'm saying, I can definitely see the confirmations of, you know what I'm saying, what the NBA is trying to do. We know that the enemy, excuse me, the enemy uses the NBA as a entertainment to keep us locked in bondage. You know what I'm saying? Watching entertainment, watching their sports, the New Roman Circus, and Wembanyama, Victor Wembanyama is a good player, no doubt. Let me actually give you know what I'm saying, just a warning to all the hoopers and you know what I'm saying, the people that might be triggered by this video, because when I have these certain type of topics when in regards to the NBA and uh, you know what I'm saying, higher, you know what I'm saying, pro basketball, um, it becomes a problem because people believe that the integrity of the game has remained the same or intact, which it hasn't. And I think that the NBA has always been rigged to a certain point in an extent. You know what I'm saying? It's a business at the end of the day. And again, it's one of these things that have been crafted here in Babylon, this last captivity, to keep the, you know what I'm saying, like the minority down or distracted. You know what I'm saying? The same with football. And we know these leagues and the entertainment industry is all in cohorts, right? So I believe that Victor Wembanyama is, again, the next face of the league. And they're pushing him to be the next great superstar just as the generations have passed. And we know that LeBron is at the end of his time. This might be like 1 or 2 more years left at the max, but the NBA is definitely going to start pushing Victor Wembanyama hard, and it's just important to realize these people's schemes and their traps and how they play right in our face, right, with the information and what they're doing, because we know that everything happens for a reason. Um, I'm not saying that these players are garbage. I'm not saying that they're not talented or they haven't worked for their positions. But we got to understand that, you know what I'm saying, most of these players were bred for a certain position. You think about Kobe Bryant, his father played in the league and he went overseas, but Kobe Bryant was, in a sense, you know what I'm saying, like his father crafted him to be an NBA player, right? He went overseas, he saw his father play the game, and then he already had still that natural passion for the game. And you know what I'm saying, these doors open because these people have still have these certain connections. You know what I'm saying? You see these fathers and sons, a lot of these sons coming into the league, you know what I'm saying, they have open doors because of their father, right? We know that the NBA is a fraternity. And even they show you sometimes, which I'm going to touch on, that some of these players will have jerseys on in their youths, you know what I'm saying, like as the team that they're going to play for, ironically. And they just say, well, it's just coincidental that, you know what I'm saying, that he just has a jersey on that, you know what I'm saying, like for a team that he was gonna eventually play for. But let me touch on this brother's video here. It's called McKinfolk. So I want to shout that brother out. He been doing some great work. We're going to watch this video, then we're gonna come back with some more information.
Now, today, we're going to talk about NBA superstar Victor Wembanyama. Now, 2 days ago, Wemby participated in the NBA Cup Finals, in which he lost. And then we figured out at the press conference after the game that he also lost his grandmother. So without further ado, man, we gonna tap right in and we gonna see what's going on, man. Victor Wembanyama, grandmother died Tuesday, fights back tears after NBA Cup loss. So, right, this is part of the humiliation that comes with the death when it transpires. So not only did he lose the NBA Cup Finals, he also had to sit at the press conference and talk about the loss of his grandmother as well. Now, Wemby was born on the 4th day of the year in 2004. Now, in Chinese culture, the number 4 is associated with death because they sound very familiar, creating a superstition where 4 brings bad luck, leading people to avoid it in building floors, phone numbers, and gifts, similar to how the number 13 is avoided in Western culture. 1 plus 3 even equals 4. This homophony extends to combinations like 14, must die, or 24, easy to die. Think like Kobe when he exited the NBA, he exited wearing the number 24, right? In Cantonese, affecting daily life and even architecture, with some buildings skipping floors with the number 4. So we see that Wemby has this link, right, to death. So let's continue. Because Wemby's grandmother passed away 19 days before Wemby's next birthday. 19 days is also 2 weeks and 5 days, just like the word death. Now, this is gematria, the practice of turning letters into numbers. And when you peel back, right, these numbers that you see during these games, these records, these points, these days, the days that these games are played on, the days that the events where these people lose somebody, it's all based on numerology. So when you take the word death and you take the letters in it, right, not to mention that it starts with the 4th letter of the alphabet, right? And we break that down in Chaldean numerology. The Chaldeans believe that numerology leads to your path and your destiny in this lifetime. So it's interesting that death equals 19 in Chaldean and death equals 25 in English, right? In the reverse reduction cipher, right? This is the cipher that is influenced by Pythagoras, right? You might have known him due to the Pythagorean theorem, but he also had another theory that the only true numbers were 1 through 9, no zeros and no double digits. So in this reduction cipher, you reduce the letters with double digits to single digits, right? Break it down as far as it can go, right? They call it the purest cipher because these numbers are in their purest form. And death equals 25 in the purest form backwards, right? But come on, right? Because even if we take the span of Victor Wembanyama's life, at the time that not only he loses the NBA Cup Finals, but he also loses his grandmother. Now, he's a span of 8,017 days old. Now, brotherhood of death equals 817 in the satanic cipher, right? So now we got the brotherhood of death in this equation along with death, along with Wemby's synchronicity of being born around a day surrounding death. Now, the brotherhood of death is also known as Skull and Bones, or the Order, or Order 322, which is an undergraduate senior secret student society at Yale University. And we see when we peel these things back, these events in NFL and the NBA especially, right? Those two groups especially the NFL, because the NFL was created, right? The American founder of American football was Walter Camp, who was a Skull and Bones member at Yale University. So we see these rituals that happen in the NBA and the NFL, they tribute these same societies and power, right? So if we look at Wemby's age, the day of this death, right? The death of his grandmother and the death of the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Cup. This happens on the 347th day of Wemby's age, when the Brotherhood of Death equals 347 in the English language backwards. Right? The Brotherhood of Death. This also happens 11 months and 12 days after Victor Wemby's birthday, when the Brotherhood of Death equals 112. Victor Wembanyama also equals 112. This is why he experienced this death both ways, right? His numbers came up. Even if we look at this game, man, between both of these teams, man, the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks, it's very interesting that both teams come into this game. And the interesting thing about the NBA Cup championship,
it's crazy because they're running it back. They showed the people that this is going to be the finals. Now that Wemby has lost, it's going to be a death to rebirth. They're going to win the finals. I'm calling it now. Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs is going to be the 2026 champions, and they're going to push him as the new face of the league. Watch.
Is that this is the only game that doesn't affect their records. Every other game in the NBA Cup changed their record except for this championship. So these two teams are still 18-7.
Sorry for all the ads, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm going to edit it out when I put it on the channel, but this is just a live stream. I'm going to edit these out. But support the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get it up, y'all. Let's run it.
$187, the code for murder. The day that Wemby's grandmother passes away, the day that the Spurs are eliminated out of the NBA Cup. Both of these teams are 18-7. Brotherhood of Death equals 187 when you take the letters in Brotherhood of Death in the normal English language. A is the first letter, B is the second letter, so on and so forth, man. And we get 187, man, the code for murder. This game even started at 8:30. 8:30 when Brotherhood of Death equals 83. Remember, in numerology rules, zeros have no value. So we got 83, man, just like Yale University equals 83 in this same cipher. Yale University is where Skull and Bones was founded. So we got 187 and 83. Yale University, Brotherhood of Death. So this is why this Skull and Bones ritual took place, man, during this game. This is what these games, these platforms are used to do. To perform rituals right before your eyes. And you think it's just sports. This is entertainment. It's entertainment and rituals masked as competitive sports. Right? Because 187 means murder. Both of these teams come in this game 18-7. The game comes on at 8:30. Murder equals 83. San Antonio Spur equals 83. This is why the Spurs was murdered. This is why the grandmother of the San Antonio Spur was dead that day. Come on, man. Because even the day that, and peep the handshake, right? Peep the handshake. Wemby was drafted on the 173rd day of the year when Yale University equals 173 backwards. So everything about his career says death and Brotherhood of Death and Skull and Bones and Yale University. This is what his career is scripted by. Right? Yale University. So this is why he got defeated by the New York Knicks, who have the same synchronicity to Yale University, when both of these things equal 173 in the English language backwards, which corresponds right to the day that Wemby was drafted. The 173rd day, then he loses to the Knicks in the NBA Cup Finals. So the Knicks played the role of Yale University, and the Spurs played the role of the Brotherhood of Death. And that's why they were the team that lost. and then even Wemby lost his grandmother. Right? Because even if we look at the span of days that Wemby was in the league to the day that he lost his grandmother and lost in the finals. This was his second year and 178th day in the league when he loses to the New York Knicks, when New York Knicks equals 178. This league is completely scripted by numerology, man. But come on. Because let's talk about Skull and Bones, man, because we talking about Brotherhood of Death and Yale University, when the other name for Brotherhood of Death is Skull and Bones. That's the main name. So let's talk about Skull and Bones now. Because Wemby was 263 months old, right? At the time of this ritual, when Skull and Crossbones equals 263 in the English language backwards. Skull and Bones, also known as Order 322. Even if we take Skull and Crossbones in the English language, it equals 223, the reflection of 322. Now, Genesis 3:22 says that, and the Lord God said, the man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. So now we get reminded of this morality, right? And it's death, this Skull and Bones, this death ritual. And then Wemby has to lose his grandmother as a reminder that man cannot eat from the tree of life and eat and live forever. So now Wemby has to experience the loss of his grandmother at the same time he loses in the NBA Cup Finals. 3-2-2, man. Now, also speaking of 3-2-2, man, there's an interesting connection with these losses, man, of these NBA players. So if we also look at Michael Jordan, they call him the GOAT, right? And we see that Wemby's career is going by these same numbers. These GOATs have to experience these same things, these same rituals, these same Yale University, Brotherhood of Death, Skull and Bones. All the GOATs have to go through these rituals. So if we look at the day that Michael Jordan lost his father, right? Mind you, 33 days after he won his third ring, right? In game 6, after he scored 33 points, he lost his father. Now, if we look at the day that Wemby loses his grandmother, he loses his grandmother 32 years and 20 weeks after Michael Jordan loses his father. 3-2-2, man, Skull and Bones. Now, what does Michael Jordan have to do with this, man? We got to understand that this is the NBA. This is the National Basketball Association. So the things that happen, especially with these superstars, is going to be connected, especially these ones that they're trying to make the GOAT. This is the new player of the generation. This new generation. So he has to go through these same rituals. That's why they lost scoring 113 points. Now, if we add up the points in this game, it equals up to 237. Now, if we look at the day that Michael Jordan's father passed away, he passed away on the 23rd of July, 237. The Spurs, the losing team, just how Michael Jordan lost his father. The losing team scored 113 points. Michael Jordan equals 113. Even if we look at Victor Wembanyama, the person that experienced the loss the most, because not only did he lose that game, he lost his grandmother. He experienced this loss on the 11th month and 13th day of his age. And the Spurs even scored 113 points in this loss. The Knicks scored 124 points in this win. Even if we look at the date numerology that Michael Jordan lost his father, he lost his father on 124 date numerology. So here we have this full ritual coming full circle, and we see exactly what's going on. That this was a Skull and Bones ritual about the sacrifice that has to take place when you want to be the GOAT. And we see that Kobe Bryant was to sacrifice himself, him and his daughter, whether they really passed away or whether they didn't. We see that LeBron James is currently sacrificing his oldest son. That's why his oldest son is having the struggles that he's having. Not only did he have that cardiac arrest, but then he's having these struggles in the NBA. We see he's not the chosen one, right? But come on, man. Right? Because we even see that this ritual is even a tribute to the late Pope Francis, right? Because he was also a ritual. The first Jesuit Pope from the Society of Jesus. The Jesuits, who have their hand all over this entertainment world. So you have to know the sacrifice. They're also going to tribute their masters right in front of you. So Wemby was 1,145 weeks old at the time of this ritual. Just like Pope Francis' real name, Jorge Bergoglio, equals 145. That's why TMZ breaks the news of Wemby's grandmother passing away the next day, December 17th, which was Pope Francis' birthday. But that's all we got for this video, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments, man. Appreciate y'all for all the love. Appreciate y'all for all the support.
Yes, sir. Shout out that brother. Call me Kinfolk again if y'all want to check out that brother content. That's his channel right there. He brought out a lot of good information there, right? You know what I'm saying? He's crying, man. What shall a man gain? You know what I'm saying? Gain the whole world to lose his soul. You know what I'm saying? He know they're gonna win the NBA finals. Right? But it just goes to show that these people are playing by the numbers. That these people have an agenda. They know they have an agenda. They was born and raised, you know what I'm saying, to carry out these plans. And it's not just all peaches and creams. It definitely, when you're dealing with the elite. We also know in the movie GOAT, you know what I'm saying, that movie that just recently came out, I believe this year, at the beginning of this year, well, last year, if I'm not mistaken. It was either the end of last year or towards the end of 2025. That's what it's saying here. But we know that the team that this man played for was the no, I wasn't the San Antonio. Yeah, it was the San Antonio Saviors. You know what I'm saying? That was the name of the team in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Another predictive programming showing that if you want to be the GOAT, if you want to there you go. If you want to be the GOAT, if you want to be, you know what I'm saying, known as the greatest of all time, to where these people are pushing you, you know, ad revenues, they're going to push you to win. You know what I'm saying? And Wembanyama is a choice that they believe is the right to push this league into the future, right? So we just got to understand these people agenda, knowing that they are doing rituals, that all this stuff is rigged. You know what I'm saying? Another picture here, right? Picture with him, his I believe that this man is his handler here, right? But this is a younger picture of Victor Wembanyama, right? No older than 10 or 11, but he has on a Spurs jersey. I know it's Tony Parker, and I know he's from France, okay? But still, just how coincidental. You can also see other pictures of, you know what I'm saying? I know Cooper Flag, you know what I'm saying? He was the number one pick this year. He went to the Mavericks, and it was a picture of him in a Mavs jersey. You know what I'm saying? It was a picture of him. So these people show, right? These people, it's not coincidental, right? Might be a little bit younger, but still, right? These is it's always these players having on you know what I'm saying, merch for a team that they end up playing for, which is how coincidental is that? They don't but they don't want you to think like that. Right? Let's check out this other one right here with him, his handler doing some stretching yoga techniques. You know what I'm saying? Trying to show the people that he's serious. He's trying to bring mama mentality back to the game, or you know what I'm saying, the seriousness. Again, he was crying because he understands that they are going to win the championship. And I believe that um them getting beaten the cup, you know what I'm saying, by the Knicks was the NBA giving the Knicks that, and Wembanyama is going to take the championship, right? Uh, it's just no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? If you've seen the script play out, if you've seen what's going on, you're going to push Wembanyama as the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's just more reason why we got to come out of here, why we can't be um, fooled by, you know what I'm saying, this false reality, this matrix, because all of it's a game. All of it's a game, you know what I'm saying? Besides the Most High in His Word, you know what I'm saying? Everything that we see is it's a big stage and it's a game. From the politics to the entertainment to these video games, all of them have an agenda to keep us distracted. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I really want to bring out. But I'm making that prediction now that the Spurs will be the 2026 NBA champions. You know what I'm saying? I just can't see no other way around it. You know what I'm saying? The way that the scripts is playing out, they're gonna do it, and they're gonna push Wembanyama as the number one guy. So you know what I'm saying? Mark me on that, guys. But thank you to whoever watched. If you tune in, shalom, shalom, shalom. Until the next week, we're gonna start coming out with more content. Don't get back at it, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe again. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.